Welcome to Fear Babes Podcast, a podcast made for Fear Fam members by Fear Fam members.
We would like to remind you that Fear Babes Podcast is not affiliated with the Project Fear crew in any way.
Everything we discuss on this podcast is strictly our own opinions.
My name is Madeline.
My name is Burgundy.
My name is Jamie.
And we are the Fear Babes. Hello, everyone. We are so glad you are here. Thank you for joining us. The support we have received since announcing this podcast has been absolutely mind-blowing, and we are so heckin' grateful.
I'm sure you guys probably have some questions about who we are, what we do, how long we have been in the Fear Fam, and today, in our very first episode, we're going to address all of this and more.
Soon, Project Fear will be launching their very first episode under a new name, on a new platform, and with so much incredible content that we cannot wait to talk about on this podcast.
Which kind of leads us into the very first thing we would like to discuss. Who are the Project Fear crew? We know most of you guys are Fear Fam members, but for those of you who may not be, we would like to give a little bit of background as to who these awesome people are.
Project Fear has not always been Project Fear. For a matter of fact, the crew began as Destination Fear, with their first episode premiering October 26, 2019 on the Travel Channel.
The crew continued to have 4 amazing seasons, with a total of 48 episodes, under the name Destination Fear, over the course of almost 4 years until recently, when it was announced the show had been cancelled on March 19th, 2023.
The end of an era, truly. But of course, our favorite crew bounced back immediately, turning Destination Fear into Project Fear and launching a Kickstarter that earned over $300,000 in fan funding in under a month. So that they continued to give us Destination Fear just without all of the restrictions and on a different platform.
So now, as we enter the Project Fear era, the crew have been on 2 road trips thus far, with never-before-seen content already being released on social media platforms that Travel Channel never allowed them to show us.
It has honestly been so incredible to see the success the crew has achieved in such a short amount of time.
Now that we have given a brief history of who the Project Fear crew are, let's get into our personal introductions, shall we, babes?
We shall. All right, Mads, do you want to go first and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Madeline. I am from Charlotte, North Carolina. Well, not really Charlotte. I'm from the outskirts of Charlotte. I'm 25 years old. Super old. Got back issues and stuff like that. That's not a lie. I'm also graying, but that's not the point. I'm 25, in case you were wondering, and I have a baby. Her name is Duchess. She is my dog baby, and she's absolutely beautiful. And yeah, I'm a good old Southern girl, so the accent will probably come out in this podcast. Right now, I'm morphing it because I'm with these lovely ladies who are nowhere near the South. And I have been a fan of Project Fear since the beginning, ever since good old 2019. So, yeah, Berg, you're next.
All right. Well, some of you may know me from socials. I am Burgundy. I am 27 years old. I live in Casper, Wyoming. Somebody said, I think on our introductory tweets, that I only believe in ghosts because I'm from Casper. Pretty sure my town was named before the ghost was a thing, but that's all right. I have 2 fur children, Annie and Diesel, and I've been in the Fear Fam since day 1. Jamie, do you want to tell us about yourself?
I am Jamie. I am 25. I am from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I will not say anything witty about it because there's nothing witty about Scranton, Pennsylvania.
The Office.
But that's so cliche, Burgundy.
The silence.
Unlike
I'm a cliche.
the silence.
I have 4 fur babies. I have 2 cats and 2 dogs. And you should just go look at my Instagram because that's pretty much all I post. And you should look at them yourselves because they're beautiful and they deserve the recognition.
What is your Instagram handle?
I don't know. Damn it, boy. What are you doing?
You're trying to self-promote and then not tell the people where to go.
It's okay. We can link it.
Anyway, sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. No, it's totally fine.
Okay.
I don't know my Twitter handle. It's an Instagram handle. Never mind. You know what? I'm just gonna stop talking.
How long have you been in the Fear Fam, Jay?
I have also been in the Fear Fam for the entirety of the Destination Fear era. Came into it in 2019.
Yeah.
Sick. So we're all OGs. Is that what we're saying?
We are all OGs. Not that it matters. Not that it matters. All newbies are welcome as well.
Yeah, definitely.
We love all
Yeah.
Fear Fam members.
Same.
But yeah, we've been here since day one, homie. That's what's up.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
All right.
All right.
The hip
Should we-
replacement in 10 years.
Should we ask some questions now?
I would love to ask the questions for sure.
Okay. So I'm curious why you guys are excited to do the podcast. For me, and this might be kind of cheesy, and might get a little emotional for a minute, okay? But I had this thought the other day that I don't know how you guys are thinking about it, but at least the first episode anyways, it's kind of like it's like our open thank you letter to the crew and all of their like immediate support, like their friends and family. You know, because like they brought me my best fucking friends, dude. Like I wouldn't know you guys if it wasn't for Destination Fear. Like how crazy is that?
It's so crazy.
Like how crazy is it that 3 strangers from across the United States became best friends because of a TV show?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like that's insane.
It's a hell of a story.
So yeah, I don't know. I just think this is nice. It's a nice little passion project that we're doing. Because you know, what better way to support the people who brought me my very best friends than any way we can. So we just made a podcast. Mads, what's your answer?
So I'm excited to do the podcast because similar to I have the same kind of answer as Berg, kind of, that I get to do this with you guys, like my best friends, and it just gives us more of an opportunity to connect more than just texting or like FaceTime. Like we get to discuss and talk about the people who brought us together and like their show. It's just, I don't know. It's incredible. It's fun. I'm excited to do it. I guess is my answer.
We basically get to record our phone calls and share
Yeah.
them.
And like, I'm also really excited about having other Fear Fam members on the podcast because we get to talk to people who we potentially may have never really gotten a chance to talk to, really, aside from, you know, social media.
Social media, yeah.
So, you know, I'm super excited about that too because as the crew have said multiple times, it's literally like we're a family. It's
Literally.
like talking to extended family.
Mm-hmm.
It brings us together. So I'm hoping that
It's so cute.
I'm hoping that this podcast will bring us even closer together, especially the 3 of us.
Yeah.
We'll say
So,
two of us.
you know.
The 2 of us. Oh, left shaking out.
I don't know if we can
That's
get
what happens
any
when you mute.
close- I don't know if we can get any closer because you know we like sleep in the same bed when we go on trips.
We
and
could get geographically closer, like year round.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And so, for those of you who may not know, though, I will say this too: is that yes, we have met in person. If you guys don't know that, the 3 of us have met twice now in person. So again, Berg is from Wyoming. She has made the decision twice, well, actually 3 times now, to fly across the country to come see us. So like, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, you're special. You gotta do what you gotta do to see your people, man.
Yeah. And we also just saw each other, 2 weeks ago? Almost
Was it
3
2 weeks? Ah, you're gonna make me sad.
Yeah. So,
2
I mean, we had
weeks?
a time. Berkey has come to my house.
Twice.
We had a party. Just kidding. But
We had a sleepover.
so yeah, we have met in person. Just for those of you who may not know that, we have met in person before.
Jamie, what did you say? It cut out.
I said you better not have had a party without me.
We had a sleepover, okay?
Sleepover is fine. Don't have a party without me. I am the party. Remember?
We had a party without you in Atlanta.
Where's Jamie?
she she deaded because we had a party without her.
She's like,
She's crying. Oh no, Jamie!
I'll forgive you this one time.
there she is.
I tried to get you to come. Okay,
One time, all right.
I tried. I was
okay.
gonna pay for you and everything.
Okay.
Okay.
I was gonna do that.
Yeah, we were going to do that.
I know, but we wanted to because it's not the same if we're not all together.
It's true. I had FOMO, hardcore.
Yeah, I don't want to do that again.
Never again will we be
Never, ever.
separated.
Nope.
It's not allowed.
So, Jamie, I'm curious what your answer is to Bergie's question.
Well, it will be awfully similar to you guys, but just coming out of my mouth, I get to do something really freaking cool with my absolute best friends in the world, supporting some really amazing people, and getting to know more of the Fear Fam, which it's difficult to do just through Twitter. So I feel like we're opening up this whole new form of rhetoric that we can all bond and create these connections. It's going to be more personal and more exciting. And I look forward to knowing even more of you and hopefully being besties.
Yay, besties!
I love that Jamie showed me up on my own question.
Right.
I was like, damn, okay, that's a great answer.
Now,
alrighty.
Whole time I think about it, so it's fine.
Now, I do have a question for y'all. Well, I have multiple, but let's just start with one.
Okay, one is good. Don't rapid fire questions, okay? I might forget them.
Yeah, no rapid fire. I am not the kind of person that enjoys questions that involve too much thinking. So here's my question. What brought you to watching Destination Fear, aka Project Fear? What started it all for you, Bergie?
So, we allowed to say the
You
show that's not allowed to be named on in the field?
Yeah.
It's not
It's the truth.
No.
It's what happened.
Nobody take that for serious though. Like, I'm just making jokes. So yeah, I used to watch Ghost Adventures. I would go off and on with Ghost Adventures. I'd watch a couple of episodes or a couple of seasons like in a row, and then I wouldn't for a while, and then one day I was just bored, so just binge watched it. So obviously most people know that Dakota and his dad were on an episode way back when because he won a contest. So I knew like of Dakota because of Ghost Adventures. So then we didn't watch for a while. And then I don't know, some people may or may not know Kelly from the Fear Friends, but her and I actually live in the same town. We went to high school together. We were in band together, so we've been friends for like a decade. After high school, I was out of college, she was still in college. We bonded again over watching Ghost Adventures again, and then that was those last couple seasons that Dakota was on. And then one day I was out of town and Kelly texted me and she's like, dude, Dakota got his own show. And I was like, hey, what? She's like, yeah, he got his own show. And I was like, okay, well, we'll have to check this out. And the rest is history. Here we are.
Yeah, Rob should have
Such a
gotten
cute
the show.
story.
Rob should be a guest on
I
Project
think he
Fear.
was the cool one.
If anybody from Project Fear is listening, please put Rob in an episode. Thank you.
That we think he's cool.
Right. I have a fun story about how I tricked my parents into watching Destination Fear, but somebody else can answer first, and I can tell that later if you'd like.
I just realized I should probably answer my own question. So with that being said, my story is very similar to Berg's. I used to watch Ghost Adventures like every Saturday night. It was just a thing that my mom and my stepdad at the time did. I mean, we religiously watched it. I watched pretty much anything that they would put out. So I was one of those people, I was very into it. I followed them on everything. And Zach, obviously, Aaron, Billy, Jay, all of those people. One time when we were watching the episodes, because sometimes, like Berg said, you might want to have like a little mini marathon even though you watch a show one time, you may not catch things. So, like, we were watching it, and God, I wish I could remember the episode. Whatever episode it was where Dakota got possessed in, like, that basement. I think that's the first one that I saw. And he was very much in that episode. He wasn't just behind the camera, which is why he was easy to miss to begin with. And so I was like, new member. Like, I need to follow this person. Super lame. It was just a mindset. And so followed him. And I think within like a couple of months, that's when he announced new beginnings or something on Twitter. And I was like, sick. So he's leaving Ghost Adventures. That's weird. I just found the dude. And then, yeah, the rest is history. Next thing I know, he's saying, I got a TV show and I'm calling it Destination Fear. So there you go. Rest is history, I guess.
And Jamie?
So it's going to be repetitive again, like most of it will be. I watched Ghost Adventures, saw Dakota when he went on, thought it was pretty cool that he won a contest and did that. But, I was not part of the whole, like, Twitter thing until, like, a couple episodes into the show. We saw the advertising for it. We watched the first couple episodes. Dakota had mentioned Trail to Terror, and I was like, that's really cool. And then I dreamt about it. I dreamt that we did this, like, whole excursion to find the lost copy of Trail to Terror, and that's how I joined Twitter. And I was like, hey, Dakota, like, I dreamt that you're going to release Trail to Terror, so when are you going to do that? And that is how I was introduced to the whole shebang.
So a little different.
I added that just to not be like, I watched Ghost Adventures, and then I saw Dakota, and then I watched the show.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Jay? Are you saying we sound stupid?
No, we just did the same thing 3 times over.
It's fine. Yeah. But
Well,
it's all like people, if they want to know about it individually, then they don't know, and now they do.
True.
So
we've never talked about it. Not once.
Yeah.
So, Jamie, do you have a question to ask me and Bergie?
I sure do, madam.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Aggressive, but I'll take it. What do you think the crew brings to paranormal TV that is different from other paranormal shows?
Who are you asking first?
I don't fucking know.
Mads, you go first this time. I've gone first like twice.
I'll go first? Okay.
Yeah,
I'll go first. Because I have all the answers. Just kidding.
Shit. What if it's repetitive? I should have gone first.
I know nothing.
I wait till the last one so I could just one-up you guys, so...
It's fine. It's fine. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I need to stop making jokes. I feel like I need to apologize after them.
No.
Stop.
The people want the jokes. Listen, they want the real us, okay? Like...
Yeah, this is the real us.
Listen, we're doing it for Project Fear, but people are coming in for us. I'm just kidding.
Apologize.
Or am I?
Madeline.
Not really.
Okay. Tell me your story.
Okay. So, yeah, let's go. Okay, so what do I think the crew brings to paranormal TV that's different? Well, first of all, they don't just go into locations and they don't stick together the entire time like you see on so many paranormal shows. Not that there's anything wrong with that format. It just gets repetitive. It's super cool, and it has always been super cool to me that they sleep alone. Like, that is the number one thing that if I went to a paranormal location, I would hate to be alone in the dark for hours. The thoughts of that is just like, hell no. I'm not doing that. I'm out. And knowing Dakota, he would, if I were to go on an investigation or like any Fear Fan member, he'd be like, yeah, you're getting locked away right now.
I would just run away and hide. And yeah, I would just hide under a rock. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. So I think that that's super cool. The whole sleeping alone thing is awesome. And they test each other. It's not just like, okay, you go in that room, see what you can find. It's like, okay, I'm taking away your flashlight. You're completely alone. Bye. Everything, it's literally the test of fear. And that's what is so fascinating about the show is that it's not just what they can catch. It's more so like how they test themselves. And so that is just super cool to me. So that's what I think, Boogie.
Ditto everything you said, but to give an answer that's not repetitive for once, so far anyways, I love the authenticity that Destination Fear brought to the table and that I'm sure Project Fear will knock out of the park. I love how it's just, it feels like you're there with them on their experiences and the whole, like, they're not shoving evidence down your throat. They're not like, did you see that? It's an orb. It's definitely a ghost. It's just, they leave it for you to decide.
Yes.
So like,
I love
my dad is a skeptic, okay? He's hella skeptic. Like, he probably shouldn't even be part of the Fear fam. No, I'm just kidding. But he watches Destination Fear and will watch Project Fear because of the crew, because of how real they are. And by the way, if you haven't met the Project Fear crew, that's literally how they are on your TV screen, your computer screen. That's how they are in person. It's literally them to a T. Like, they're not fake. But anyways, Don watches with us because he loves how real the show is, how it's just authentic. He just enjoys their banter and their relationship with each other, and it's just something that he could get into, so. Anyways, I digress. Jamie?
So I agree with both of you guys. But I want to note the fact that they are so authentic. Like, when you do get the chance to meet them, which I hope that each and every one of you get to do, they take the time. They make sure that you get what you want from meeting them. Like, it's about you. And not just like, hey, yeah, like, did you see my show? How cool am I, right? Like, absolutely nothing like that. Just genuine, like, hey, thank you so much for being here. And that's just really freaking cool to see. My personal takeaway from the whole thing is that they are sinister. They just love to, like, what can I do to torment my sister? What could I do to torment my best friend?
Hashtag shitty brother.
Yeah. And then see what karma comes back. It adds such a different dynamic to each and every episode. You don't know what is going to happen, but it's probably going to be funny and also terrifying. You will fear for their lives a couple times. Yeah. Fight or flight will kick in. But you're gonna be like, yeah, I'll be back next episode. That was great.
Jay, I love how you said that the karma comes back, because if we've learned anything from their whole experience, is karma is fucking real, you guys. Like, no joke. If you ever thought, is karma actually real? Watch Destination Fear, watch Project Fear. You will have no unanswered questions.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
true.
I think they created it, honestly. They created karma.
What if, though? What if they actually did create karma?
That would be really crazy, honestly. Good on ya.
Karma, 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 karma.
Hell yeah. Shout out Chelsea Layden.
Karma dance.
You the real MVP.
Karma dance like no one's watching.
I just want to say, when I mentioned fight or flight and just wanting to protect people, it's always Chelsea. I always fear for Chelsea's life.
Oh my gosh, dude. My parents, I swear one of these days I need to, like, just record them watching and put it up on YouTube or something, because my mom, she literally calls it, was Destination Fear Tourette's. Now it's gonna be Project Fear Tourette's, because she, like, literally freaks out. Like, if you come over to watch with me and my parents, you do not want to sit within 5 feet of Wendith, because you will get smacked on behalf of Dakota Layden. Like, you will have bruises on your arm because she gets so pissed off for Chelsea. Or, I mean, it could be on behalf of any of them, really, because they've all been shitty to each other. But that's what we live for. That's why we watch the show, because we love it. We only joke with Dak when we call him a shitty brother.
Everybody steps up, everybody protects each other. It's a beautiful dynamic.
It's cute. We love it.
Well, any other questions? I know we have a couple here.
Were you skeptic made believer, or have you always believed in the paranormal? Jamie first this time.
It's me first.
Yeah, so you can't fucking one-up us. Rude.
I'ma try still. No, I'm sorry. I love you so much.
Okay.
Anywho, so I was always a believer. I've been around it my entire life for as long as I can remember. I've seen things, I've heard things. Just, I don't know, I've been around paranormal activity forever. So, it's just always been a thing for me. What about you guys? Boogie, you tell me.
So, I mean, I'm sure we'll dive into it a little bit deeper, but I don't have experiences like you guys have. Like, I've never lived in a haunted house or anything, or a house with activity or anything like that. But I don't know how else to describe it other than my belief in the paranormal is as simple for me as breathing is. Like, I've just always been this way. I've always believed in the paranormal. I've always believed in ghosts, in spirits, in just everything that has to do with that. Like, I've gone places, with history, and I feel like I can sense things. But yeah, I don't have that many personal experiences of my own, to be honest. Madeline?
So, I can't really say I was always a quote unquote believer, but I definitely was not a skeptic. There was this thing, since we're in a safe space here, when I was younger, I remember like the earliest experience that I had, I could hear people talking in the middle of the night that were not my parents. I just remember asking my mom the next morning, are ghosts real? Because, like, I swore I saw things in the hallway at night. I was like 5. That's my earliest memory. And I saw things in the hallway and I heard voices. And I asked my mom, I said, Mommy, are ghosts real? At the time, obviously, she's going to tell me, no, ghosts are not real. Like, don't worry. And the older I got, the more experiences I had. Because of that, I think what truly made me a believer is there was this really weird situation where I was upstairs in my room at the time. It was just like a bonus room kind of situation. So I was the only person upstairs. I was sleeping. All of a sudden, I heard this very loud, it sounded like the TV was on. And I was upstairs, but the TV was on downstairs, so I thought. And I was so mad. And I was like, oh my God. Because I thought that it was my dad. He would come home in the middle of the night sometimes at this time in my life. And I marched downstairs and I was about to be like, Dad, because I was like preteen. So I was like, Dad, nobody's down there, y'all. Like pitch black. I go into every single bedroom. I have 2 brothers. I went into the youngest brother's room, nothing, passed out. Went into the other brother's room, nothing, passed out, gone, like gone. And then I went to my parents' room. They're both out like a light. And the noise had went away when I went down there. That's what made me a believer. I finally told my mom, I was like, Mom, I hear things at night. And she's like, well, ghosts are kind of real. And so I was like, now you tell me? Now you
Did she
tell
say
me?
it just like that, though? Because that'd be freaking awesome.
Yeah, she did, actually.
I'm just kidding. Ghosts are kind of real, so.
Yeah. I mean, she didn't say it like that. She was more like, okay, we believe in like crazy shit. Not really, but it feels like it sometimes. Like, I think other people would think that we're crazy because.
Not this fandom, homie. You're talking to the right people.
Not
Yeah,
the
that's why we're here.
Not the paranormal, like people at all. They totally would believe everything that I'm saying. But to the average person who thinks ghosts are just like Casper and it's just all made up.
Rude. I take offense to that.
Well, Casper the Ghost from the animation.
He's a really funny guy.
Yeah. So, I mean, people like that would sit there and be like, are y'all okay? But I mean, like more people believe in the paranormal than you think that they do. So I'm not going to, I'll give people the benefit of the doubt, but I'm not going to tell them about my thoughts about aliens and multiple dimensions and all that kind of stuff. I think
I would like to have conversations about that later and or privately though. Just pointing
definitely,
that out.
definitely. But that's just my answer was long, so I apologize. But yeah, I have pretty much always been a believer, but I didn't know that I was a believer until that experience that I just told you guys. So
Nice.
that's my answer. I do have a question. Obviously, Bergie, you said that you have just always known that it's there. It's just like this thing that's just always been there for you. And then James grew up in a house of
Actual proof.
yeah, with proof.
For her, it's proof.
But
yeah.
that doesn't necessarily believe or mean that your family also believed. Like, I want to know, when you were growing up, were your family very anti-ghost? Were they kind of like my mom when I was younger and they were like, ghosts aren't real? And then you get older and they're like, actually, let's have a more intelligent discussion on this matter, because you know what I mean? Did you grow up with a family who also believed in the paranormal or paranormal activity? Or did they just, they're like, no, they don't believe it?
Jay, do you want to go first on that?
Sure. I can say safely that my dad was the only, like, somewhat skeptic, but from my mom's side, I know that my gram was sensitive, and she passed that to my mom. My mom passed that to me and my two other sisters, so we always kind of knew it was there. And we always had the thing that when we lose people, which we've had a lot of loss, that we'll see them again. That they're always around us, that they're here, that they're never really gone. So that was always the precedent that we had, that there's people around us, like the people that we love never leave us. So we kind of knew in the back of our minds, like, yeah, ghosts are a thing. But I think my mom was very open about it with me personally. I don't know how she was with my sisters, but I was open with her. Because when you said, Madeline, about hearing voices at night,
Yeah.
I would hear voices at night, and I'd be like, hey, Mom, did you hear that too? She's like, no. But I do hear things sometimes like that. I'm like, all right, cool.
No.
Like, where she describes it as like, it's like somebody's watching TV like really far away. Like she hears the voices. It's kind of muffled. It's distant, but she hears it.
Yes. So not to interject on your answer,
Same though,
but
actually.
that's
Yeah,
exactly what it has always sounded like for me. It sounds like a TV is on in another room, and I still hear these things to this day.
Yeah, me too.
I've had multiple people tell me that I'm clairvoyant, which is very interesting to me, but I have always heard voices. Like, I always have. And, in the middle of the night, I'll hear people go like, howling. And I'm like, what? What? Like, I'll wake up and I'm like, what? Or I'll wake up in the night and I'll think, because I have roommates, I'll be like, they left the TV on. Nothing. Still to this day. You would think I would learn.
So nothing makes me angrier than like when it's at night and I'm just like, I'm laying in bed, I'm trying to fall asleep, and I hear like someone say my name or someone say anything. I felt someone sit on the edge of my bed. I felt like someone like stroke my hair or touch my arm and bleep me out. I work in an elementary school, bleep me out. But I just straight up say like, off, leave me alone. And it always goes away, but like any other time, it's fine. I'm trying to sleep. And that has always been a thing that I've been open about. So I don't think that anybody in my house could be like, no, ghosts aren't real. Because I'm just like, pretty sure they are. I'd fight them to the death about it, honestly.
Yeah, which is good. It's good that, I'm definitely not bashing my mother's parenting style when I say this, but
no.
she definitely did not want to scare me. She did not want to it was that kind of situation for her, I think,
Mm-hmm.
because she knew she has had these experiences, which I'll get into here in a second.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, it was just one of those things. It wasn't anything that was, I wish she had been more open, but she did it to protect me because she knew her child and she knew I would shit
Mm-hmm.
myself probably.
Yeah.
So she kept it to herself until she thought I was ready. And so, it's just one of those things. And I think
It's great parenting.
your mom was probably like, okay, she can handle it about you.
Yeah, because
But
I was seeing it, bro. I was hearing it. I was feeling it. So like there was nothing that she could dispute. But like I think your mom did the right thing in your case.
yeah, I mean, it's all based off of what they think is best for their child. And that's just
Mm-hmm.
like what it is. I mean, if I had kids, I would probably do the same thing. If I felt like my child couldn't handle it.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Boogie.
Um, so I don't know if a lot of people know this or not, but my dad that I post on Twitter is he adopted me and my brother. So I have two dads technically. So growing up, my biological father, like I don't this sounds really weird, but when we were little, we would go out to the Boy Scouts camp. Because they like a lot of my family members like worked there and stuff, or they were in Boy Scouts. So like in the summertime during off season, we would go out there and camp and stuff. And they would always tell us that like campsite 13 was haunted by a spirit named Sarah. So I've always had that. And then, I don't really talk to him that much, so we're not gonna talk on that topic very much anymore. But as far as my mom goes, like I told you guys that Don, my dad, he's a skeptic, hard fucking core. But my mom, she's always been into the paranormal, and she's never like, I don't know when her and I started talking about it. I will tell you that when I was little, probably in like fourth or fifth grade, I thought our house was haunted. It turns out it's just a mouse, but I was like, something is in
Besides the
this
point.
house. And my mom was like, no, there's nothing in the house. And I was like, something is in this house. Like, I'm picking up on the energy of the mouse, right? I'm like, something is here, mom. Like, it's haunted. And she's like, I would tell you if our house was haunted. And I was like, please don't. Please don't do that. That scares me. But, like, so my mom's mom passed away when she was like 63, 64. She was very ill, and my mom was actually there when it happened, and she said that she watched my grandma's soul leave her body, her like physical form, go away. She's just always had that, like, she tells us that she has a connection. That's what she calls it. She has a connection to the other side. So like she's like, if I go to Deadwood, like back to Jay, when you said that your mom said it kind of sounds like people when they're talking, they're on TV kind of far away. My mom says it's kind of like an old radio station almost. It's almost a little staticky. But when she, like, if she goes somewhere like Deadwood, for example, super haunted place, right? She said she'll be in a room by herself and she'll hear like hundreds of voices talking.
yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. So, I mean, as far as, Don's skeptic, he's like tries to explain everything away, like when stuff happens on the show, and I'm like, explain that, Don, and he's like, oh, the reflection from the blah blah blah, and we're like, no, you have a stick up your butt, like
Your opinion's wrong, Don.
your opinion doesn't matter.
Try again.
Yeah, so that's my answer, I guess.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah, it's your turn to answer your own question.
So obviously, like I've already stated, we did not talk about ghosts really as kids. Mom was very anti. Me, Samuel, and Chandler, which are my two brothers, they boys didn't really think much about ghosts. They're braver than me, but they also weren't as tuned into that kind of stuff as I was. They've never said anything about any paranormal experiences. They're just brave little guys, okay? Well, they're not little. They tower over me now, and they've never said anything about it. But I have always, like I said, had these experiences hearing the staticky voices and stuff like that. And after the experience I had where I went downstairs thinking it was my dad, then I told my mom, and that's when we really started talking. And come to find out, I will say briefly so you can know why I don't mention this much. I do not have a relationship with my biological father anymore. So that
Twins.
from this point on, you're not going to hear me talk about him because he's not there. But I do know that when I was a teenager and my parents were together, like early years, he never said anything about paranormal stuff. I don't, I don't know if he didn't believe, was a skeptic, nothing. He's just never given me anything about that. So on that note, Mom and I started talking about it. And of course, that's when we were like watching Ghost Adventures. We started doing that kind of stuff. And then we started getting into like theories just for fun. It's not that we really believed in it at the time, but we would talk about some, fun theories. And then I will say, I think I was 15. My papa, which was her father, passed away at 60. Very, very hard time for the family. But all of my mom's mother's side of the family, we all met up, had a cookout, trying to, we all hadn't seen each other in a while. And it was just a thing. And all of a sudden we came up on the topic of the paranormal. And it didn't take us long to put together that we all had the same sort of experiences and that not everybody had the abilities we do. It was the weirdest thing. I felt like I was alone because it's like, even though I could hear these voices and stuff, my mom never really openly said, okay, I hear them too, until this day. She just said she believed in ghosts. She didn't say, I hear it too. And I see things and like all this kind of stuff. That was not a discussion until this cookout when I was 15 after my grandpa passed away. And we had a real connection. And all of us were female, oddly enough, except for my uncle. The rest of us were female, which is kind of interesting to me that it's like it ran in the bloodline or something. I don't know. It was just weird. And like, we were all like, what if we were like witches back in Salem? Like, we're just like, just talking. But truthfully, we had real raw experiences that we could not explain. And we were all experiencing the same thing, just in a different way. Like, you may have an ability, but you feel it in a different way than somebody else. I never talk about this to anyone. So I choose not to knock into it as an adult. I just don't fuck with it. But I do have my cousins who do, and who will just text me sometimes and be like, hey, don't do this today. Hey, don't do that today. And then next thing I know, there's a fucking accident.
I have my own theories about stuff like that, dude. That's cool though.
It's honestly like, it's one of those things where it's like, how do you believe until you experience something like that? Like, I don't know. It's just the same thing over and over, and it's not a coincidence. But in a nutshell, long story short, we that's my family went from being no, ghosts aren't real, to the older that we all got, the more we're like, okay, there's definitely something else out there, and we hear voices in our head. And I noticed that too. This is not something that people don't know about me. I love going to Charleston. I have always been drawn there. It feels like home. It's on the water. It's beautiful. And when I go to Charleston or a historical place, I can see things exactly how they were in a certain time period. It's so strange.
Oh, jealous, dude.
It's like one of those
cool.
things. I can see these women walking with their husbands, with their little parasols. It's like the Civil War era. And they're walking around Battery Park. And it's just like the weirdest thing. And I didn't.
So cool, though. What?
Yeah, I didn't know, though, that I thought it was just my imagination, that I was being creative. But then I talked to somebody, like a friend, a family friend, and she said, I do that too. And I was like, wait, really? And she's like, yeah, like I can see things like that. It's cool. Like when I go to historical places, I think of things. Like when we went to Philadelphia a couple weeks ago, on that cobblestone street, I could see like the horse, the carriage, and like people like walking around at the time. But I just never say anything because there's just nothing to say. It's just what I've always known. It's not anything. I don't know. It's weird. If anybody else has that, please let me know so I don't
Drop it
feel
in the comments somewhere.
because like yeah. And my mom also. This is the last thing I'll say. My mom has visitations in her dreams.
Oh,
Um,
my mom has that too, actually.
yeah, like after my grandma passed away, which has almost been a year ago now. She was like a mother to both of us. Mom got has had multiple visitations of her since then, and it's just so real. Like she can smell the places, like she can feel the water, she can touch the grass. It's like so interesting, and
Vivid, yeah.
it's so cool. Like if y'all could hear her describe it, it's awesome. Maybe we could have our moms on the podcast one day
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
if
for
they're
sure.
down for it.
I told my mom, I was like, you have to be on the podcast because so many people love your little snippet videos of watching. Like, you have to be on it.
I don't know if my mom would do it though. I'm gonna be honest with you because she's just not.
We gotta get
I
her.
mean, she might. She could surprise me. She's very outgoing, so I mean, she could surprise me, but I don't know.
Come on, Wendith. We need Wendith squared on here.
We need just squared.
Wendith
Love
squared on
that.
the podcast.
Yeah, I know Jamie's mom may not want to.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Just
That's
to
okay, Jay.
clear that up. Currently we're having issues in my house. It's been ongoing for a couple years, and we've had all sorts of people come out try to help us. And we just contacted. Let me find the name of it because it's really cool. I was really excited about it. The Warren Legacy Foundation. Like
Oh yeah.
Ed and Lorraine Warren, like their
Right.
namesake. Like that's like the best of the best. It's so cool to think that we could get help from them. But like it's really worn on her a lot, so that's definitely not going to be an option for us on this
Yeah.
end.
Which is understandable because I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
it's not all fun and games. I mean, I've had
No.
really scary situations and things happen that have just absolutely. That's why I don't use my quote unquote ability because I don't want to potentially see or I have reasons. I don't really have an explanation for it. It's whatever I'm comfortable
You
with,
don't
and I'm
need
not.
one. Yeah.
So it's just, I might fuck around with it and predict the future one day, but maybe I don't want to.
I've done that a time or two, but it's like my personal future. It's not like
Yeah.
I can't be like so and so is gonna be president someday. I just like
No, it's not
I
like
have weird abilities. It's fine.
it's not like
Burgundy.
People are gonna like listen to that and be like, "You're fucking crazy." Probably, but
Burgundy, are
it's
you
okay.
winning the lottery anytime soon? Maddie,
God, I
am I
wish.
winning the lottery anytime soon?
I wish we could
Figure it
have.
out.
It's not those kind of abilities, Jay. It's like
It was
Yeah.
a
this is
joke.
this
We're
is
not
so
winning the
creepy.
lottery. Yeah.
No, well, you don't know. Never say never. I used to have this ex-boyfriend. And after we broke up, if I had a dream about him within the next 2 days, he would reach out to me again every single time. And at first, I was like, I'm fucking delusional until like the 13th time that it happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get the
Why'd you
hint, bro.
laugh?
13 times?
So
Let
like,
it go, dog.
do y'all want to hear something creepy? So like people are going to think I'm crazy, but I have had this
No.
reoccurring vision. A vision. Raven Baxter insert of her.
That's so Raven.
But it was like it's this thing I've literally had since I can remember. Like I remember being a child and like I'm a hopeless romantic. It's just who I
Aren't we
am.
all? Aren't we all?
I'm a
Let's
Pisces.
pause.
I'm a Pisces.
Hey, hey, I'm a Pisces too. I got you.
I
I'm
don't
not.
know.
I am too. I'm a helpless romantic too. It's all
So
good.
I've had this reoccurring vision sort of ordeal where I can see my wedding day. And it happens all the time. It will be in the middle of the day, and all of a sudden I'm just like, and I see it right there.
Wait,
And
so when are we planning this? Is it like 2027 or?
what, my wedding?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. I need to find the man first.
True, true,
But-
true. I need part 2 of this equation, please.
That's what I'm going to get into, is that I can see it. Like, I can see the man that I can't see his face, if that makes sense, but I can see his eyes. I can see his hair. I can see how tall he is. And it's like the weirdest thing. And I have just always seen it. I've seen like my line of bridesmaids behind me because I have so many good friends, so many people that I love that are just like out there in the
Is it
audience.
us? Are we in it?
I don't know.
Me and Jay, we're like,
it's
is it us?
like-
We're in this, aren't we?
You guys want to know the only thing that I have seen that is solid and in stone?
You
Is my-
in your beautiful dress?
No, my brother's giving me away. That is the only thing.
Aw,
Oh, my heart.
you poked my heart.
I'm gonna cry. That's so cute. Oh my god.
So yeah, I mean, Samuel's bald, so I've always seen his bald head. So when he started balding at 16, I was like, damn, am I going to get married by 20 or something?
Well, no, not 25 either, but 30 maybe.
It's not 25 either. No.
You
So
didn't have to call him out like that, though.
it's
Oh
kind
man.
but there you go.
You remember in Pennsylvania and you guys were eating breakfast downstairs and she's all,
Yeah.
he's bald and looks like his daddy.
Yeah. I get super country when I drink or when
Dude, it was breakfast.
You
What
were
you trying to tell
stone
people?
cold sober.
People are gonna think we're alcoholics.
Yeah. I mean,
Only when we're together.
only
No, I'm
when
just kidding.
only when we're having fun, man. Yeah, so
I honestly only drink when I'm with you guys. Like at home, I'm like, I don't drink ever.
when I'm at home, you know what I do? I drink water. I have my 1 cup of coffee a day. And by the time I get home from working my 9 to 5, I'm out. Like, I'm snoozing. I'm like,
2 to 3
Dude.
cups of coffee a day and a whole gallon of water. That's my go-to.
yeah,
Just
no
don't
alcohol.
drink anything.
Oh, okay. All right, you alien.
Nothing to worry
I
about.
mean, my country accent will come out on this podcast, I promise you. Well,
We love to hear it.
you guys, did you have any other questions or?
So, do you guys have any experiences that have changed your perspective on the paranormal?
Yeah, I do.
Who do you want to answer the question?
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
that's a hard decision.
I think Mads has already
Yes.
started, so we might as well just let her go.
Do it.
I'm just gonna yeehaw. I'm just gonna get into it. So
She's not
here we go.
kidding. She was not kidding when she
Yay,
said yeehaw.
hey!
It was 100% authentic.
It's gonna happen
I-
a lot. Get
yeah.
used to it. It's her catchphrase.
It's
It's
her
Madeline's
catchphrase.
catchphrase. Is
It's
yeehaw.
not a joke.
We're gonna, if we ever get merch, we're gonna have to hashtag, or not even hashtag. We'll just yeehaw, and it'll just be a picture of your
I want
face.
that right now. Actually, I'm gonna
Okay.
go do that while you answer the question.
That'll be your Christmas present. Sorry, I ruined
Yeah.
it. but
That's a
Christmas
wonderful
present.
idea.
We just give each
You
other
just get yeehaw merch
shirts
for
with our
Christmas.
faces on it
Yeah, that's not
and our
ironic.
catchphrases. Wait. If Madeline's catchphrase is yeehaw, what is Jamie's catchphrase?
That's a very good question. What is my catchphrase?
Yeah, that's a good question.
My babies.
That's
Hi,
it. That's it.
babies.
Hi, babies.
What's my catchphrase?
Shut the fuck up.
That's rude. Am I a bitch?
No,
We're not fear babes. We're fear bitches.
baby.
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh, Jamie.
Sorry.
She said
You
maybe.
thought?
No.
She fucking said
I'm starting
maybe,
to
bro.
sweat.
What?
Can we? Can we just figure out what
No.
the catchphrase is and move on?
No, you're in it now.
Well,
You done fucked it up now. You're not in trouble, but I am slightly offended.
Sorry, Mom. I didn't mean to.
Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mom. Oh, fuck. Am I actually mean?
No. No.
That did
It
not
was-
sound
no, it was
convincing
just-
at all.
It just came from my mouth. Like, it was just one of those things that I thought I was
Plot
funny,
twist,
so
that's
I
your
just sent it.
catchphrase. I feel like you're projecting right now. Oh god. People are gonna think I'm so mean. They're gonna be like, she's gaslighting Jamie right now.
I have never heard of gas. I don't know what gas is or lights, so
Bro, I
do
should
it.
be the one saying that. People are like, what's Wyoming? Where is that? Do you still ride horses and buggies to school? I'm like, what? I didn't know people could talk. What are you
I
talking
didn't
about?
even know Wyoming actually existed.
I didn't
Who
even
are
know there
you?
were people.
We're actually aliens. We're actually the real Area 51.
Makes sense.
Okay, where's our
They let
soundboard
me
guy?
escape occasionally.
Where's our soundboard? We need something.
Yeah, bitch.
Yeah, bitch.
What?
What?
Okay, back to topic. What were we talking about?
Oh,
We
the question.
diverted so hard.
Jamie asked the question, and I was going to answer. So,
Wait, what question? I'm just kidding. I know what question.
do you have an experience that changed your perspective on the paranormal?
I know. Okay, what's your answer?
My answer is, I'm going to tell you. Thanks for asking. So, basically, so there's one real experience that I've had that has really solidified my, obviously I believed, but you know how like, especially when it comes to like people saying, oh, I see apparitions. I felt something touch me. I had never had the whole people touching me kind of thing. I just didn't understand that. And so, I was like, that's not real. Like, I don't think that's real. So in 2018, I went to Charleston and I went to the Charleston jail for like a midnight tour or something like that. It was not an investigation, it was a tour. First of all, Charleston jail is scary as shit. Okay? It's super scary. And you can feel the heaviness of the energy in that place. First of all, it has like, I think, is it 3 floors? I think it's 3 floors, maybe 4. No, it's 3. And we went to the quote unquote basement area where at the time, during the Civil War, it was used as a hospital. The basement area was. For both Union and Confederate soldiers, and we were standing in there, pitch black dark. I was around no one, not a soul. Everybody else was standing forward. All of a sudden, like while the tour guide was talking about how Confederate soldiers would be here, like they were on the ground in these hospital, like in this hospital situation, and because it was a makeshift hospital, I mean, it's the Civil fucking War, and all of a sudden I felt on the back of my leg the gentlest feather-light touch on like my calf muscle. And I turned around so quick and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, oh, is it a bug? And I looked around, no bugs. At that time, I don't know about now. I know they're remodeling it. There were no open windows. I wasn't really around anyone, but I still asked my stepdad, who was a little bit forward from me. I was like, did you touch me? Like, did you touch my leg? And he was like, no, I wasn't even near you. And I was like, well, I just felt something touch me. And that's when I was like, holy shit, this stuff is like real. Because it was my mom, after that, she also felt something touch her on her leg. What? And after we, put 2 and 2 together, I was like, oh my God, what if it's like a Confederate or Union soldier like reaching out to us, thinking we're like nurses trying to help them? My mom was like, oh my God, I just got cold chills. And I was like, dude, this shit's real, man. Like, that was the first thing I thought. And I'm just like, holy shit. So that's what changed my perspective. Nice. Being touched has done something to me. Not in a good way. Kind of fucked me up a little. It's just I could have gotten punched or like fucking dragged to hell or something, but I wasn't. God. It was just a little feather-like touch. But like,
that went real dark real fast.
That was just, it changed my thoughts, It changed my feelings on it. It's like, damn, maybe, oh my God, you really can be touched by spirits. Like, I was 20 at the time, so this was like, I was still a baby. And that was what changed my perspective on the paranormal. So, Bergie?
I don't know if it's necessarily a change your perspective type of situation. I think it was more of a pivotal moment for me. But back in 2016, we went to church for a Christmas mass, and my brother is not an avid church person. He very much does not like going to church. He has his own reasons. We don't need to like make it a whole thing, okay? But he was enlightening my mom by coming with us. So we go to church and we're in the pews, and we're kind of in the back, and there's nobody behind us. There's nobody in the pew behind us. And so it's my dad and my mom and then me, and then my brother's on my right hand side. And we're doing the thing where you like stand up and you sing along. And Tade wasn't standing, he was sitting down, and he was just being like little grumpy Tade, little teenage boy. Like, why am I here? I don't want to be here, blah, 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 you know? And so we were like, whatever. We got him this far. That's all we could ask for. So I asked my mom, I was like, is Grandma Gail here? And my grandma had been gone for like years at this point, okay? And she's like, mm-hmm. And I was like, wait, what? Like, for real? I'm like, she's actually here? I'm not, like, imagining that? She's like, no, she's right behind us. And I was like sitting down in the pew behind us? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, that's crazy. And so I think in my head, because we start singing along, right? And I think in my head, I'm like, come on, Tade, just, like, get into it just for once. And I hear my grandmother go, leave your brother alone. And I was like, okay.
Sorry.
All right, Grandma. Yeah, and then so my mom, we also lost her cousin, Heather, at the age of 42, breast, brain, and bone cancer. And that had been like 2 years at that point, or maybe just a year at that point. But I was like, is Heather here too? And my mom's like, kind of like not in the way that Grandma was there, but she was, saying hi. And I just felt this cold air between me and my mom, and then they were gone. That was it. So. Yeah. Jamie?
I'm not sure if anything really changed my perspective on it. There's just so many things that have happened. I think something that has stood out to me more recently, my oldest sister, as Mads and Berg know, but others may not. I am a very, very, very proud auntie. My sister had 2 beautiful babies that are my entire world. They are in my house. There's a picture of my gram. She passed when I was 3 years old. I started the whole, family calling her Grammy, and there would be no way for TJ, my nephew, or Veda to know that. So it was probably when TJ was about, 2, almost 3, and he started talking about Grammy. And we're like, okay, that's weird. Maybe on his dad's side of the family, they have something there. And we asked my sister about it, and she's like, no, that's our thing. So, he was standing here, and he looked into the front room and said that he saw her. And we were like, no way. That is crazy. Don't do that. It was really refreshing because she had been gone for so long. I really don't remember anything from when she was here, but it's amazing that when they're so young, that veil, as we refer to it, I'm not sure if that's a universal thing that people think of it as, but that veil is so thin for kids, babies. He's now 4, and we don't think he sees them anymore. But just yesterday, Veda, she's 2 right now, she was talking about grandma. And me, being me, I want them to love me. JJ, I'm the only one that you can love. So they're talking about...
Nobody else, just me.
They're talking about grandma. Grandma's on their dad's side. And I'm just like, no, JJ. I'm the one that's important here. You're sitting on my lap, JJ. Not having any idea that she wasn't talking about her daddy's mom. She was talking about my gram. And we didn't know that until she stood up in front of us, held up a toy straight up in the air, and said, "Here, Grandma." And we're like, okay, we're gonna cry. Like, what? There's no
That's
way.
so cute.
Like, they have no preconceived notion of, like, even who she is. Like, we talk about her, but, like, they wouldn't just do that.
Right.
So,
Aww.
I guess that's something that just kind of, like Berg said, just kind of, like, not necessarily...
Pivotal.
Yeah, a pivotal thing. Mads, you said something earlier about dreams with your mom.
Yeah.
And, like, visitations. Yeah. I have had that a few times. And one time specifically, with my gram, I was on my front porch, and it was like a time hop, like back into the 20s. Like, it looked like it was like wartimey, like a lot of bustle, a lot of busy movement, like old clothes, just not now. And I'm just standing there on the corner of my porch. I just saw something across the room move.
Ooh,
yeah.
you're conjuring it up.
Well, I'm not conjuring anything. I just hope it's my gram. But I was standing...
It probably is. She's just saying hi.
Well, I hope so. They should... Hey, Graham, say hi to the people listening. If that's a thing. You want to do that? That's cool.
Dude, that would be crazy. All of a sudden we just hear, hello.
That would be so creepy,
but
awesome.
And cool.
That would be cool. I haven't...
At the same time, yeah.
The last time I heard her voice was from a picture frame that had, like, a recording thing on it that ended up getting erased.
Ooh.
So that was many, 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 many moons ago. So that would be really cool to hear her voice again. But...
Yeah, it would.
Well, I mean, I guess back to the dream, I did hear her voice. I'm standing in the corner of my porch, and here come my grandma and grandpa. Now, my grandpa passed away when my mom was a teenager. He was actually really important in the area. He had a heart condition that he was the first person in the area to have a specific surgery that went successfully, that it fixed, like, a valve in his heart or something. I don't know a super lot about it because it was just kind of like I saw a newspaper article from it. But I've just seen pictures of him. I've heard a few stories because he wasn't around long for my mom. But they walked up to me. My grandma hugged me, and I felt it. Like, I actually physically felt it. And she said, "My baby."
That's so cute.
And it was like, oh my God, it was just such a crazy feeling because you know that was actually her. That was them.
Yeah.
They were there.
Mm-hmm.
And they came to see me. And I guess maybe
that's
that could
so cool.
be something that stands out.
In what year were they born?
Oh, goodness. I'm not sure offhand.
It's just interesting. I feel like when you die, like, just briefly before we end this, I feel like when you die, when you go to heaven, what you see is a unique experience to you. My papa loved Wyoming, oddly enough.
Your papa made us be friends for a reason.
Probably.
Come see me.
He probably, God, it was like 2 or 3 times that they went out there, and he loved the Tetons. And on his, like, little headstone, it has the Tetons, and he was a farmer, has a little tractor. But I think that his version of heaven is like, you know, he has that mansion over the hilltop. Do y'all know that song by Elvis? Or am I was raised by an old woman, so.
No, I love, okay, oh my gosh, like 60s music is my jam.
Yeah. That song.
I don't know if that song specifically is from the 60s, but I mean, I love, like, what I was getting at was I love the old, like, retro-y music, I guess.
Yeah. I listen to, like, the old stuff because my grandma, my
golden
great-grandma,
oldies.
she was born in 1928 for perspective. So nice. Anyway, I feel like his version of heaven is different from what my version of heaven will be. You know, I picture his version of heaven being in the Tetons in his little log cabin, and he farms. The only reason why I brought that up is because I just wondered if maybe they showed you their potential version I don't know. I mean, I know you said it was hustle bustle, but maybe they were on their way to their version. Maybe they were just passing through, and that was the part that they were like, okay, well, this is our passing through area. Maybe they went to go see somebody else who was in their version of heaven. Maybe there was a family member who loved running a shop in their lifetime, and so they were still doing that in the afterlife, having a good old time. So maybe they were on the way to say hello to someone. You just don't know
Yeah.
sometimes why you see the things that you
I
do.
mean,
Why
yeah,
these
you'll
things.
never actually know until you know. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know until you know. There's so much we don't know. So much we
Crazy
don't
how
know.
much we don't know.
it's cool.
So
Uh,
much. But
Real, real quick, I want to talk on the topic of. So you're talking about your dream and
mhm.
that your grandma came back and like visited you and hugged you. That just kind of reminded me of like my mom told me when I was a baby, her passed on grandparents came and visited me
Hmm.
as a baby. They like I was like 3 days old, and they came and they wanted to see me. Like a couple,
oh,
she had like a handful of relatives that wanted just coming to see baby Burgundy. So
yeah,
I think it's cool. The reason I said that was because I think it's cool that all these people from all these different walks of life, and we're talking about paranormal, right? And we're talking about stuff that people don't believe in,
Hmm.
yet we all have some version of the same type of thing.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's so incredible how like something like this, something that we can't explain, that so many people believe don't exist, is what brings so many people together because
Yeah.
it becomes like a safe haven.
Hmm.
Like I'm in a safe haven talking about being a clairvoyant, but never telling the average person of that.
Yeah.
Like I have no reason to sit there and be like, I'm a clairvoyant. What the fuck do I need to tell people that for? Like, it's like, okay, so I'm also an empath and like,
Hmm.
I don't know,
Oh
what's the
yeah,
fucking point?
I know, but there's so many more people that are willing to be open about being empathic than there are,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, there's also
I think.
different versions of buoyancy. There's people that can actually have a whole conversation with someone in their head
Hmm.
rather than just be shown a vision or hear things in their sleep or everybody has like all these people who are like clairvoyant truthfully
Hmm.
and not just bullshitting about it like I have had some people do in the past.
That sucks.
Oh yeah, man, that's a whole story we'll get into on another episode. But I mean, it's one of those things that like everybody may have the same ability but different abilities within the ability.
Hmm.
Well,
I
yeah,
think
each individual person is their own,
everybody's different.
well, individual. So, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
everybody's
Yeah.
experience is different. I mean, you can have two
Like,
people that go through the same general thing, but their
yeah,
whole experience, their whole takeaway is not going to be the same outcome.
right. And so I'm not ever going to be the person that goes, yeah, you're not telling the truth because I am this person and I see things like this and I know I'm telling the truth because I experience it. I
Yeah,
could never,
because your truth
could
and
never
somebody else's truth is not the
right,
same.
Hmm.
right. Which is just a fact of human life. None of us are the same, but that's a whole thing within itself.
Yeah, we could go on for hours with that.
It's
So
already it's already 11 o'clock our time.
real fast, just real fast. I feel like
So
this first episode needs to end on at least whatever the hell was in our room that Jamie and I both felt after Penhurst.
yeah.
Oh.
So for those of you guys listening, we obviously went to Penhurst Paracon 3 weeks ago, and Burgundy and Jamie experienced something while we were there that I know that they wanted to discuss on this episode. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I was so fucking down and out. I wasn't even
You were
universe.
asleep. But
I was so exhausted. I am a sleepy girly,
it
and
was okay. For context, though, it was the last night, and we'd gone to DC. We
yeah.
had walked around all over Timbuktu. There, we had done
But
the convention, and then we walked all over Philly. Like this was like the last night, and so everybody was exhausted. But
but
you were just asleep.
you gotta understand though, like, and you girls can vouch for me here. I just if I don't get sleep, I'm grumpy, and Burgundy is so the complete opposite of me. She's like, yes, I want to go, 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 and I'm like, bitch, I'm gonna fucking
Listen,
sleep for 30.
Listen,
Like,
Linda,
let me 30 minutes.
listen,
Linda.
hold on. Don't get it twisted. I value sleep hardcore. Like, sleep is my best friend. Like, every weekend, every Saturday and Sunday, I have to have a nap. I have to. You can't have a weekend if you don't have weekend naps. Like, who are you? Except, okay, but when I'm out there, when I'm with you guys, like, our time is limited, okay? And you guys know, I don't have people here who will commit to doing these types of things with me. So this is my only chance. So I'm going to experience as much as I can. If I have to temporarily give up sleep for 5 days,
If she has to
or,
drag us out
portions of
by our
sleep,
feet, she will.
I won't
Yeah.
do that. That's a lot of effort. I mean, I go to the gym, but I don't want to do that. Like, come on. I'm just
I
kidding.
mean, all that to say is that I was down and out. I felt nothing really. I mean, like when I was at Penhurst, I could feel like this heaviness, and I was just like, well, that's that. I'm fucking dipping. Like, like
Okay, but this is the thing. It was
we
a
made a
brief
mistake.
situation.
We made a mistake of not praying before we went in there, like we should have, because we were too
didn't
busy thinking about
uniformly.
Wawa.
I was
I'm
not
sorry.
thinking about Wawa, okay? Do
No.
not conclude me in that or include me in
Wawa
that. I
It was definitely
with 2
heck
shots
Wawa.
of caffeine. What?
Heck Wawa.
I only dream about it.
every day.
And before anybody comes at me for hating on Wawa, if people who love Wawa listen to this, I have food allergies, and Wawa is not food allergy friendly. So,
It's
anyways,
actually true.
back to topic. The experience. So at Penhurst itself, all of us felt something. Like when we were in the Mayflower, I was very dizzy and disoriented.
Oh, that's right. I did feel that way. I did feel that heaviness, but I also felt that dizziness. And I thought for a second, who did I ask? I turned around and I was
You
like,
asked
does anyone
me.
feel
We were
dizzy?
going up the stairs and you were like, "Does it feel like the room is moving right now?" And I was like, "Yes, it actually does. Like it feels like we're in a fun house."
You remember that? It did feel like that.
This
And
is
I was
not
sitting there and I'm
level.
like,
Yeah.
so it's already not level, but then the added like dizziness to it. There was just so much energy there, I feel like. And it's
Yeah.
more than just deceased already moved on or not moved on, but it's more than it was live energy and it was the energy of like people from the past. And
Yeah.
it was a lot. A lot.
It
There
was
was
a
a lot.
lot to handle. Yeah.
I had the stabbing pain in the back of my head that would not let up. It took probably a good 20, 30 minutes after exiting the building for that to pass.
Yeah, that was crazy. And then in the tunnels, when we took that photo, some people may have seen the photo on Twitter with the questionable background, which you all have your own opinions on. It's fine. When we were in the tunnels, though, so what people didn't realize, part of why we may look so shocked in that photo is because it was really dark in there, and Joe had the flash on, and that's why we're like staring at the camera like we're deer in headlights, because we actually were.
We were.
But we didn't talk about this until like long afterwards. For me, anyways, when we were standing there taking the photo and we had our backs toward deeper into the tunnel, because we did two where our backs were facing deeper into the tunnel and two where our backs were facing towards the entrance we walked into. I kind of felt like I was like, something is behind us and may or may not be in our photo. I don't know. I think, Jay, you said maybe you had that same type of vibe. At the time, we were the only ones that deep in the tunnel, by the way.
Yeah. You guys were like mid-tunnel, and I just kept pressing back because I'm like, there's something back there. Like, what is back there?
Yeah, you're braver than me.
So I was like peeking over like the barrier back there, trying to see like, what the heck am I feeling? Like there's something there.
Yeah.
And then it was just like a minute afterward that we took that picture.
You were definitely braver than I was at that point, because I was like, I'm not going that far. I'm not doing it.
I live in it.
You do.
Yep,
You do. I do not. Did we lose Mads? Did she dip?
No, I'm here. I just don't have anything to say.
Oh, okay. You didn't have any vibes like that at all?
No, I'm
for
dissociating.
like that part of it?
It's way past my bedtime.
Oh, well, we're almost done. Okay, anyways. So
I told you guys are the ones like, but no, I'm telling you, I am a sleepy girl and I'm getting angry. I'm actually not angry.
Don't get angry. Stop being
I'm not.
slangry.
I'm
Is that
not
what we're gonna
angry.
call it? Are we gonna call it slangry?
I just wanted to do it for
Slangry.
dramatic effect.
A dramatic effect.
I'm not angry, but I am. I'm slowly slipping away.
Okay, but what is our word gonna be? Slangry? Slingry?
Slangry.
Slangry is fun to say.
Slangry.
Okay. Anyways, so Penhurst was Saturday. Okay. So we have Saturday, we have Saturday night, we have all day Sunday, and then Sunday night into Monday morning, where everybody's like, we went to bed, we had to check out in the morning, we had to get going, we had to step away and put ways.
No shit. Tears were shed.
Tears are shed. But
Yes.
so we're sleeping, and even though we slept on a crappy ass freaking pull-out couch with a
Yeah, that
1-inch
couch.
mattress, I
That
still
couch
have a
was
dent in my back.
Oof.
It was
I'm
boof.
sorry. I had the king bed.
Shut the fuck up. Nobody asked you. You and Joe took up like a foot of that bed. Like me and Mads were gonna scooch y'all over and just climb on in.
Yeah.
Like,
we were so tempted.
we
Hop on
contemplated
in,
that.
babies.
We next time that's what we're doing, because you guys you're so cuddly and cute and that I was like, you do not need this whole ass bed to yourself.
The only reason I was
on the
anywhere
couch.
near him is because he had the fucking blanket. I was cold because
Okay.
Madeline likes it to be freezing.
Okay, but you like it to be freaking the gates of hell, so
Yeah,
it was a
literally.
happy medium.
Okay, in my
Literally.
defense, I turned it up that high so it would get warmer faster. I was
didn't.
gonna turn
It
it
got
back
too
down,
warm too
but
fast.
I'm shivering.
It was 70 something in that room, and I was sitting there like, I'm on the brink of actual death right now, because I'm a hot natured person, all right, and like I think it's
Clearly.
my anxiety. I think it's my anxiety, man. And so I was sitting there and I was like, oh man, I'm fucking dying. There's no way I can sleep. And like, I don't know. I'm just a psycho.
Oh, sorry.
But Berg became the voice of reason, and she was
I
like,
did.
no. Yeah,
We're
she
not
was
gonna
like,
freeze
we're
our
doing
asses off, and we're not gonna sweat our asses off either. We're gonna just do a happy medium of 70 degrees.
Perfect.
Anyways, so
Trying to set the record straight. I didn't mean to. Okay, God.
that's funny. Okay, anyways, anyways, Sunday night into Monday morning. So we went through the whole temperature war as per usual, and and then that laugh. I think it was I want to say it was between 4 and 5 a.m. I woke up because I had to pee. The reason I think it's that time frame was because it was still dark out, but it was you could see light coming through in the horizon. So I looked out the window. I didn't, but you could tell the sun was starting to come up.
Our view was the rooftop
view,
from our
it was.
windows.
We
so
almost tried to bust out the screen and have a
windows were
rooftop party, but
yeah, it was tempting.
different story for a different day.
But it was kind of dirty.
It was, yeah. I didn't want to go out there and get all dirty and stuff. So,
Well, also my credit card. So I said, no, bitches, you better fucking.
Doesn't get the security deposit back.
Yeah.
Anyways, can we focus? God,
No.
the whole thing, the whole series is gonna be like this. I know, sleepy bitch. Let's go. All right, Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty has become Sleeping Bitchy all of a sudden.
It's true.
It's true.
Okay, guys, seriously, we talk to each other like this. It's not. It's pure love. Okay, we have pure love. That's all it is.
My best friends in the freaking world. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm telling you right now, if you talk to these bitches like that, I will fucking come for you. I will punch you. I'm just kidding.
You will.
I'm not violent, but I will get pissed. I will. I said I will. I said if bitches talk to you the way that I'm talking to you, I will come for them. I will punch them. I'll beat them up. We'll have words.
You say one mean thing to me, I cry immediately. And if
I will fight.
done for.
I will fight whoever is mean to you, Jay. Let's go. Anyways,
thanks, Boogie.
I got you. I got you, boo.
5 a.m.
Yeah, 4 to 5 a.m. Okay, so I get up. I have to go pee. We have one bathroom. It's in Jamie and Joe's bedroom. so,
Yeah.
so I had to sneak in, and their room is darker than dark. Okay, like they had all the blinds closed and everything, but I mean, it was like pitch black in there, like different level pitch black. But I'm like, I don't know. It's 4 a.m. I just woke up. I'm just delusional. I'm delirious. I don't know what's happening. I have to pee. So I go and I pee and I come out and I lay down. And the whole weekend, me and Mads had been sleeping back to back. And like I said earlier, this mattress was like an inch thick and you could feel the stupid metal frame through it. And I am 27 years old. I'm getting too old for that shit. So I decided to roll over. So I roll over. My knees are like in Madeline's back. I don't know how she didn't wake up, to be honest. She wasn't
Dude,
joking.
I was out, man. I
out.
was exhausted.
Okay,
Yeah,
hold
you
on.
were gonzo.
I would like to point out that I just got a very severe headache,
Again?
like stab pain in the front of my head.
It's because we're talking about it.
Yeah, continue.
So I start to try to fall asleep, and I had this glancing thought that I could feel something was watching me. And I was like, no, I'm crazy. We've been hanging out with paranormal people all weekend. We went to a haunted location. Like, I'm just psyching myself out, right? And so I almost fall asleep, and then I feel like something is watching me from behind me, and it feels very, very not nice. I don't know how else to describe it. It just felt very unwelcoming.
Oppressive.
Yeah, and I was like, I can't sleep with this, whatever it is. I was like, am I just over complicating my thoughts right now, or is this happening? So I try one more time, and I'm like, ooh, it is not nice. And so I just said out loud, I was like, you are not supposed to be here. Please leave me alone. And I didn't feel it after that. So when I woke up the next morning, this is weird. I don't know. I'm just going to throw it in the story. It could just be a weird coincidence. But the middle of my back felt like it was bruised. And I told Jamie and I told Madeline, and Jamie looked at my back and she said that I had a scratch mark, like where I said that it felt bruised.
I saw it
So,
with my own eyes. I don't think that it's a coincidence.
So the crazy thing about this is Jamie's going to tell her side in a second, but the crazy thing about this is I didn't want to scare Madeline or Jamie, so I didn't mention it to anybody. And then on the way home, yeah, well, also on the way home, I told Mads about it because my back was still hurting. And so I was like, Mads, I don't know, my back hurts, but I have to tell you, like, I felt like something was watching us, or at least me, at like 4 to 5 a.m. And so I told her about it, but I didn't tell Jamie about it. And then she, like, on Twitter, a bunch of people were mentioning that stuff followed them home from Penhurst. And then we had that conversation with Sheena. And I was like, not me, not telling anybody that I felt something in our hotel room. And Jamie was like, Berg, I felt it too. And I was at my mom's house and I was like, what the fuck? So anyways, Jay, your side?
So, I heard Burgundy enter the bedroom. I heard her close the bathroom door, open the door again, close it, close the bedroom door. Everything was calm, everything was chill. And I'm laying there. I cannot fall back asleep. A couple minutes pass, and I'm just like, okay, like, this is getting annoying. I have to drive tomorrow. And then it just kind of hits me, like I said, like that oppressive energy. And I'm like, okay, that's not good. And I feel it. It's big, directly in front of me, just watching. And I said, like I do every time I have an issue, fuck off. And then I started to pray. And it left. But it did kind of freak me out that Burgundy said that she had that experience immediately before I did.
I wasn't afraid until I confessed to you guys that it happened and you said that you also felt it. And I was like, what?
Yeah, that was kind of, I don't know if it's necessarily like, oh god, that's scary, or it's just like, holy shit,
just,
like that happened.
Yeah, it's just like you confirmed, like, because, you know, I was like I said, I was like, am I psyching myself out right now? Like, what's going
You
on?
were.
But then you were like, no, I felt it
Yeah.
too. And then I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's different. That
Cool.
puts a different perspective on it.
Yeah, it was very bizarre. And I was like,
Mm.
no, this ain't happening today.
Nope.
Mind you, while I was in the Mayflower, I was decked out. I had crosses. I had multiple blessed crosses and medallions on me. I had myself protected in that place. There's a
Good.
specific reason. I wasn't having it, but then we had it anyway, so
Yeah, basically. I'm just glad it was like brief. It was probably all of like a minute or 2 minutes.
yeah, same amount of time, because I fell asleep the second I felt it, like the energy
Leave.
pass. I
Yeah.
went right back out. It's funny how different our reactions were.
I
Hi, can
know.
you please leave?
I'm like,
Fuck
please leave. And you're
off.
like, fuck off. Fuck
Fuck
off,
off.
bitch. I'm just like, please
Yeah.
leave me alone, please. Thank you. Thanks. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Peace out. We got good vibes here. You don't
Yeah.
match.
Good energy only, please.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you all so much for joining us for our very first episode of Fear Babes podcast.
Join us next week as we dive into the very first episode of Project Fear that will be premiering on YouTube.
We will be discussing the location, the evidence the crew caught, our favorite moments from the show, and so much more.
We hope to see you there. Bye, babes.
Bye, babes.
Bye, babies.
Boom.
Boom. Fucking nailed it.